Good morning, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me this morning. It's Friday again. You know the day, guys. Absolutely fantastic day is Friday. We love it. We're keeping the Friday vibes, guys. We're young again. We love Friday. Thank God it's Friday. And more importantly, it's match weekend coming up, guys. We're playing at the weekend. Thank goodness me. Not quite Saturday. I don't think we play on Saturdays anymore, but we are playing on Sunday against Fulham, of course, guys, which is at home at Old Trafford, and it should be a comfortable win for Man United, shouldn't it? Really, it should be really a comfortable win for Man United. No doubt about it. We've got no doubts about it. Of course, let's wait and see, guys. Let's not get overly exaggerated. Let's not get overly zealous before the game's actually kicked off. Guys, before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Smash a like on the video. Put your notifications on. All that jazz. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, you absolute legends, guys. Thank you. Let's get into it. Now, Manchester United are going to be targeting a number of players during this next few months in regards to the summer window. It looks unlikely that Manchester United will make any significant signings this January as predicted, but Manchester United could still make a move for Wilfred Ndidi, and that could be a deadline day signing. It's not the signing that we want, of course. We wanted someone a bit more, vavoom, with some shebang sort of signing sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? But that is not going to happen, unfortunately, for us fans and Manchester United, of course, because who we're owned by and the incompetence of the board. We have the protest, guys. Just a reminder, we got the protest at 1958 protest on Sunday before the game. Let's not forget to keep the vibe up, keep the energy up against the Glazers and against Ineos. It's very, very important that we don't forget about this, guys. We put our full efforts behind it. Let's not get overly excited about the game and this and that. Which obviously, we have to think about the game, but we also have to think about those protests, and we keep the energy on as well. But let's get straight back into the news surrounding Manchester United, and precisely why we are doing these protests is at exactly times like this when we we haven't signed anyone in January. It would have been a godsend to sign someone in January. Unfortunately, guys, we are not going to do that, apart from probably Wilfred Ndidi, which is probably an underwhelming signing, let's be fair, but it will add weight to our very threadbare, thin squad. So I wouldn't completely dismiss it as absolutely terrible. But you know what? We needed a lot more, considering that we've got the World Cup coming on in the summer, and it's going to be very difficult to negotiate transfers, especially big transfers and stuff like that. You can imagine that other teams like Man City, Chelsea, and Liverpool are going to start agreeing fees for players well before the summer. You can see already by April or May, that a lot of the players that Man United are linked to, other teams are going to be linked to them, and the Liverpools, the Chelseas, the Cities, the Arsenals are going to be going after those players as well, and they'll steal a march on us. And you snooze, you lose in this game at the end of the day. I mean, it's happened to us numerous amounts of time. We are incompetent as a board, and this energy should always be on the board, of course. But let's get into some transfer rumours right now. Now, there's a player who currently plays for Club Brugge. His name is Alexander Stankovic. Alexander Stankovic. Not Stankovic in regards to Lazio. We all remember Stankovic for Lazio. Alexander Stankovic. He is a Serbian international, 4 caps for Serbia. Originated from Lausanne in Switzerland, of course, the football team Lausanne in Switzerland. He is a CDM, CM, and centre-back, so he can cover a numerous amounts of positions. Only 20 years old, but very, very highly rated. 15 million, his valuation is. Alexander Stankovic from Club Brugge. This player, another one of the project players, so to speak, which Manchester United are quite obviously looking at these type of players, of course. The project player, of course, and the young lad who can play in various amounts of positions, the centre-back, the CDM, the CB, goalkeeper, whatever. No, not quite goalkeeper, but he can play CDM, CM, and centre-back. So that kills 2 birds with 1 stone, really, doesn't it? When a player can, or 3 birds, he plays centre midfield and CDM. It does, because at the end of the day, when you bring in a player that is versatile, if he can play in defence, will Man United need to sign a defender? And don't be surprised if Man United look at players like this who are versatile, who can play in a numerous amounts of positions around the pitch, of course, guys, absolutely. But Alexander Stankovic Club Brugge, exclusive Stretford Post, 20 years old, CDM, CMCB. Of course, so it's valued at 15 million euros, Serbian 4 caps, 1 goal. Already a very talented player, of course, wouldn't be playing for Serbia if he was not, of course, guys. Now, another player Manchester United are being linked to is a centre-back again, and his name is Natan. Natan is a player who used to play for Napoli, if you remember, originated from Flamengo, playing for Napoli, Brazilian under-20 international. He is 24 years old now. He's a centre-back currently playing for Real Betis in Spain. Now, Natan is a powerful centre-back that would add weight to the squad. He's not going to be a first-teamer. He would add a well-needed options in that defence. Now, in regards to the defence, it does depend on what happens with Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire, apparently, rumour is he's willing to take a pay cut. He's willing to stay at Man United. He wants to stay at Man United because anyone other than Man United is going to be a downgrade for Harry Maguire. It will be a downgrade. So why would Harry Maguire want to leave? I mean, if he's willing to take a pay cut, it's good for Man United because at the end of the day, Harry Maguire is still a very capable player. Do I think we should move on from Harry Maguire? Probably, yeah. The fact we got Lenny Yoro, we got Licha Martinez, we got Aiden Heaven, we got De Ligt, we got Mads Rui, guys, we got Fredrickson, we got Kulungi, all coming through the ranks, guys. So obviously we have to think about moving certain players on. Now, Natan would represent a squad option for Man United. He's valued at 20 million euros, guys. 20 million euros. Natan, Real Betis centre-back, 24 years old. I think what Man United are trying to do here, they're trying to add weight to the experienced backup players. We need experienced backup players. Man United, especially in that defensive third, Man United got very young defenders who are backup players, who squad players. And that's the problem. We do need someone. If Harry Maguire leaves, we've already lost Varane, we've already lost Lindelof. And if we lose Maguire as well, we're going to need another defender in there of a certain age, of course, who can cover those positions with experience, of course. Speaking of young centre-backs, Manchester United have been scouting young centre-back Como player Jacobo Ramon. Now, Jacobo Ramon is a former Real Madrid under-19s player. Currently, he plays for Spain under-21, 2 caps for the Spanish under-21. He is 21 years old. He's a centre-back currently playing for Como. Now, Manchester United have had scouts at Como watching Jacobo Ramon, guys, and he is also being scouted by the likes of Chelsea, Palace, Brighton, Spurs, Liverpool, and Newcastle. Jacobo Ramon. Now, he's valued at 18 million. Obviously, this is going to excite Ineos. This is going to excite the Glazers that he's cheap as chips, as we say in England, of course, guys. He's cheap as chips. And Man United are very, very interested in this player, Jacobo Ramon, of course, guys. And he is a generational in regards to his age and the way he's playing in Serie A and stuff like that. Only 21 years old as well. 2 caps for the Spanish under-21s. I've got a feeling he's going to get in the Spanish national team very, very soon, guys. Don't be surprised if he gets in the main national team for the World Cup. You never know, guys. He's playing very well at Como. And as we know, Como are doing very well for their standards, guys. In Serie A, Como are doing fabulously well under Cesc Fabregas, of course, guys. Absolutely. And, of course, he came from the Real Madrid hierarchy. Real Madrid under-19s he came from, guys. And whilst Chelsea, Brighton, Spurs, Liverpool, Newcastle are after him, why don't we make that move? Chelsea, though, what I would say about Chelsea have brought in a lot of players, of course, and especially some players from South America, and they're not really utilizing them to the effectively. Just like Man City with Echeverria, they're not really utilizing them effectively as they should do, in my opinion. So I don't think anyone should go to Chelsea. Young players should really go to Man City, if we're being too honest with you, because they're not really using these players effectively, in my opinion. That's just my opinion about that. But those are a few players that Manchester United are linked with, of course. That does include players that are going to leave the club as well, guys. Rasmus Højlund will probably be leaving. Napoli have not changed their stance in regards to Rasmus Højlund. He's still going to be leaving Manchester United to go to Napoli as we stand, guys. Napoli are very happy with him at the moment, guys. Diogo Dalot is another one. Now, rumour about Diogo Dalot going to Bayern Munich. Now, we had rumours about Diogo Dalot about a year ago, about Diogo Dalot's going to Real Madrid and stuff. Now, I take everything about Diogo Dalot with a little bit of a pinch of salt, if you know what I mean, because is it his PR team working overtime? Is it his PR team working overtime? Now, I don't think Dallow's good enough. Honestly, going as a player that's going to be consistent, as a player that's going to get us to the next level, I really don't think he's good enough. I admire his effort levels. I admire his fitness. I admire his passion and his leadership. He's got those in abundance. But talent is the problem with Diego Dallo. As a fullback, he's not very forthwith in regards to going forward, getting crosses in the box, and also positionally is a bit suspect. And we have to look at that. I actually think that Man United do need to look at a right back in the summer. I really do think we need to do that. We absolutely do. As well as a left back, of course. It does look like Dallo will be linked to a number of clubs. And whether that is true or not, it does depend on obviously the facts and who's mentioning it at the moment. It could be a PR spin for Dallo. Just to bring that in briefly, guys. Just want to bring that in briefly. But one player that looks likely to leave Manchester United is Joshua Zirkzee. Not now, but in the summer. Now, Joshua Zirkzee could be leaving to go to Juventus in the summer. Juventus are seen to be very interested in Joshua Zirkzee. They have been for a while. And it looks likely that Joshua Zirkzee prefers a move to Italy, where I feel, in my opinion, that the league and the style of play suits him a lot better. Now, as evidently, when people talk about Serie A, right, and I'm close to Serie A, of course, got Italian background, got my wife's Italian, I've got everything. I go to Napoli 5 times a year. I know agents, I know players and stuff like that in Italy. The one thing about Italy, the Italian league is not at the level that it used to be. And this is evident when Chelsea play Napoli, for example. You know what I mean? And Scott McTominay went missing in the game. And this is what we're talking about. You know, that's no offense to him, but that's what we're talking about. The Premier League is on a different level at the moment, which is why 5 of the 6 teams qualified for the Champions League. Next round, last 16. As with the Europa League as well. Nottingham Forest and, of course, Aston Villa went up. Aston Villa joint top. So, look, you know, what I would say is that Joshua Zirkzee, I think it will be a good move for him if he goes to Juventus. I think that would be a very good move for him. I think he'd do very well there. I think the league suits him. It's more of his style. You know, I'm not going to hold it against him. In the Premier League is difficult. If you're not used to the Premier League is difficult. The Premier League is frantic. It's fast-paced. It's quick. It's physical. And you have to have that way about you when you're playing in the Premier League to be a physical entity as well as a skillful one, which he is a very skillful player, but I just don't think he has the physicality to play in the Premier League, of course, guys. One deal that looks to be closed is Ruben Neves. Ruben Neves looks likely to sign a new deal at Al Hilal. He's negotiating a 400,000 contract a week contract at Al Hilal at the moment. And it looks likely that he could be staying at Al Hilal. Now, a lot of people have spoken. I spoke about this yesterday, but a lot of people are speaking about, oh, you see, why are we going to get Ruben Neves? He's on 304K a week. Guys, Ruben Neves would have cost 15, 20 million only. Only 15, 20 million. That's how much Ruben Neves would have cost. We could have got him and you would have spent some of the money on the wages. Big deal. At the end of the day. 63 caps for Portugal. Very, very good player, of course, guys. In my humblest of opinions. Now, one name that doesn't seem to be going away very quickly is Rafinha. Now, apparently, Barcelona want to cash in on Rafinha. El Nacional reports that Manchester United are prepared to make an offer of 82.4 million pounds, 95 million euros, $113.7 million for Barcelona attacking player Rafinha. Now, guys, Barcelona have got a cheek. Barcelona are the biggest frauds there is going in football today. They want to pay 26 million for Marcus Rashford, right? 26 million they want to pay for Marcus Rashford. But when it comes to their players, all of a sudden, their players, right? Their players, their ex-Leeds United players are valued at 95 million euros, 82.4 million pounds, $113.7 million. That is how much Rafinha is being touted for. Now, if Man United are not going to go after Rafinha, despite the links here, this price for Rafinha is ridiculous. I would much rather get Said El-Mala. I'd much rather get Kenan Yildiz. I'd much rather get someone like that than Rafinha, obviously. You know, and obviously the midfield needs to be sorted at Man United, of course. And we're not going to be spending that much money on Rafinha, who for me a little bit overrated, if I'm being totally honest with you. A little bit overrated. It doesn't excite me at all, Rafinha. And I don't think Man United will be making a move for him. Absolutely not. We can actually pay a little bit extra and get Cole Palmer. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, at the end, guys, you know? So, guys, this Barcelona thing, Barcelona are the biggest jokers. They should have, they should be sponsored by bloody Tommy Cooper. For goodness sake, they make you laugh, don't they, with the price tags they put on their players. Really ridiculous. Probably one of the reasons we don't really sign anyone for Barcelona. Who's the last player we signed for Barcelona? Was it Valdez, the goalkeeper? Was it him? Let me know, guys. Answers on a postcard, of course, guys. Answers on a postcard, absolutely. But there you go. There's going to be a lot of players linked to Manchester United. Of course there is. On this Friday afternoon, guys, we have got until the 2nd of February to get the Wilfred Ndidi deal done, of course, which will be the most likely scenario in regards to transfers will be Wilfred Ndidi. And if Wilfred Ndidi comes through the door at Manchester United, I'm going to wish him the best of luck. Because when Wilfred Ndidi was playing in the Premier League, he was a very talented player and was scouted by the likes of Arsenal, by Liverpool, Man United, and stuff like that. Look, I know he's had injuries. I know that. I watched him in the AFCON. I felt he did all right. He looked fine. And he actually looks still like a capable player. And Nigeria are a very good team in that AFCON, of course, apart from that Morocco game, which I felt was a little bit, it was sus, if you ask me. But yeah, when I watched them against Algeria, I watched Nigeria against Algeria, and he was good. And yeah, at the end of the day, with Ndidi, you don't, class is permanent. Form is temporary, as they say. But hopefully he's overcome those injury problems. And if he does come to Man United, of course, we are going to be welcoming him with open arms, of course, guys. That's what we do at Manchester United, of course, guys. That's what we do. Now, it does look likely that that will be it because, obviously, we have only a couple of days, really, until the transfer window closes. That's not to say we won't get a deal done in the deadline day. That could happen, of course. We all remember Marion Fellaini with his afro and stuff like that. He was spotted on the camera and stuff. You remember that, don't we? But, it does look likely that any major deal, which is going to cost money, going to take a little bit of effort for i.e. Ruben Neves, i.e. João Gomez, and these type of players. It's not going to happen this window. And again, I just think it's convenient for them, obviously, because Ruben Amorim got sacked. We paid 27 million and paid off his entourage as well, his coaching team as well, and spent a lot of money on that. And that's going to be their excuse not to do any deals this window, which for me is disgraceful again. And this is why we have to back these protests and make sure these protests are successful and make sure it reaches Ineos and it reaches the Glazers. The Glazers won't care, but Ineos will, guys. Ineos will care because it's the first time. Better late than never, but the first time they're going against Ineos. This is the first time, and it's only taken under 2 years to do this. And many of us predicted that, Ineos will be called out very, very soon. Many of us said it way before. We could have saved you lot a lot of time if we just had the full sale and backed Qatar and made sure that Jim Ratcliffe did not purchase this football club on his vanity project. If we did that from the beginning, if we informed Jim Ratcliffe before he took charge of his vanity project that you are not welcome, we won't be in this problem right now. We would not be in this problem right now. But here we are, guys. Protest on Sunday. Hopefully it doesn't disrupt the performance of the Manchester United football team because we still need to win football matches. And I want Carrick to do well. And I want Man United to win football matches. And I want us to qualify for the Champions League, of course. But that doesn't mean we don't protest and we don't try and get these clowns out of the football club, of course, guys, because that ideally would be the perfect scenario, getting Jim out of the football club first. And obviously, the Glazers need Ineos. They need Jim Ratcliffe. They need this regeneration project. Very much so. It's going to make them a lot of money. And we all know what affects the Glazers, the leeches, is money and their pockets. That's all they care about at the end of the day. They don't care about what goes on the football pitch. Otherwise, we would have been there this window getting various players in. We're not in a position like every other club, guys. We've got a lot of work to do in this squad. We're not a million miles away, which is so frustrating as well. We've got a few positions that need to be fixed and Man United can go up there. And when you look at the results of Man United, you look at the West Ham result, right? You look at the Wolves result. You look at the Bournemouth result. You look at the Fulham away result. You look at the Burnley result. You look at the Leeds result. Just think 50% of those games would be turned from draws to wins. Where would we be in the league right now? And why did we draw those games? I say a big part of that was because we didn't invest in the midfield. We didn't invest enough in the team. And that would have changed the narrative, and Ruben Amorim probably still be manager, and there would be no commotion and moaning within the fan base, of course. And guys, look, this is how fine football is. The margins are fine in football. The margins are very thin in football, and that's what we have to remember, which is why they should have done a deal this window, a deal that is like, whoa, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect them to do that deal. That's incredible. What a deal that is, to solidify that top 4 position, of course, because if Man United win, Newcastle are playing Liverpool, guys. And now it's most likely that the top 5 will go to the Champions League this season. Right? So if Liverpool drop points against Newcastle, Man United win against Fulham, we're getting there. We need as much opportunity to solidify that top 4 space as possible. I think we can. I think Man United can get up there if we obviously beat Fulham on Sunday and just change the narrative about we only do it against the bigger teams, because obviously Emmanuel Petit was talking about it. And let's be honest, guys, Emmanuel Petit was spot on. Spot on. There isn't a team that Man United haven't beaten. But when it comes to the smaller teams, that's when we have the problem. And he's absolutely spot on, in my humblest of opinions. Emmanuel Petit, of course. Let me just say hello to the community. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to the stream. Guys, good to see everyone. I hope everyone is blessed, of course. Good to see everyone. Let me just say hello to the coveted. Let me just say hello to Black Sheep. Thank you so much, Black Sheep, for your support for the channel, my guy. You're an absolute legend. I hope you're having a fabulous Friday. Thank you so much, my friend. Morning, Sal. What do your lineup be for Fulham? Said it yesterday, but my lineup for Fulham is as follows. Dalot right back, Maguire, Leacher, and Shaw as the back 4. I would play Mazraoui, but I'm just going by what I think Michael Carrick will pick. It will be Mainu and Casemiro in the midfield. It will be Cunha as a left, Fernandes in the middle, number 10, and on the right, it'd be Ahmad with Mbeumo as the false number 9 kind of thing. There is obviously a question mark over Sesko and obviously Mazraoui. That's the only question I will have in regards to that. But that is the team that are a bit Black Sheep. Thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate you and your endless support. It really means a lot, mate. Thank you so much. My guy, absolutely. Good morning, Sam. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, of course. Big up Metal. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Big up Ephraim. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything is good with you, of course, my friend. Big up everyone. Big up Sam. What's going on? Sam, they are good players at there that they can help us get into top 4, even if it's a loan, but they don't want to sign anyone. I just hope that they don't regret the decision of signing in January. Well, most likely, Sam, they're going to regret it if they don't. We are on a very, very precarious position at the moment in regards to our squad. We have not got a thick squad. We got a very threadbare squad. It's very thin. And if we get one more injury, one more in that attacking area or in the midfield, and we are no strangers to injuries, guys, we are in big trouble. Let's say, for example, Luke Shaw or Maino or Bruno gets injured. We're down to the youth team. That's it, unless we play Xerxes, of course. So we're hearing about Diomande costing around 100 million. Don't you think Lookman would be a much better option for our wing? No, because we don't need a winger. That's it. Yan Diomande, we don't need him. These are luxury players. We don't need a winger. We need midfielders. We don't need Lookman or Diomande. Mbeumo, Cunha, and Bruno are better than those players. The only way that we're going to sign one of those players who are playing in weaker leagues, by the way, weaker leagues. Let's not forget Lookman fouled at Everton. They're playing at weaker leagues, right? Let's not forget that, right? We're going to pay 100 million for players that, when we need a midfield. Now, if Man United qualify for the Champions League, it does look likely that Bruno Fernandes will stay at Manchester United, whether we like it or not. I think that 100 million for Lookman is a waste of money. I think Diomande is also a waste of money for 100 million. That's double the valuation that they're worth, in my opinion. I watched them in the AFCON. I didn't go, wow. I didn't. I actually saw players from Algeria who looked better. And Maza, for example, or Chaibi, another one. But, what I would say is that, 100 million is too much money to play for positions that we don't generally need. Shea Lacey's there as well. Let's not forget about our youth team. We can never forget about you. We are very quick to throw our youth players under the bus. We don't really know how good they were. How good would Shea Lacey be in the Bundesliga, for example? Do you know what I mean? You have to wait and see. Premier League is a different kettle of fish, of course, it's proven. in the Champions League. 5 out of 6 of the teams going through. Good morning, Rajat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope everything is blessed with you. Of course. Hope everything is good. Will Stillett and Wharton additional midfield will be a great midfield, Rajat. It would be if Man United do the deals. That would be absolutely fantastic if they did do that. Big up, Max. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Those midfielders are quality. If we can stay fourth, we can convince them to join. Man United have to qualify, Max, for the Champions League. Otherwise, there's no point us talking about what we want or what we don't want because we're beggars can't be choosers. If Man United don't qualify for the Champions League, we're in a bit of a pickle. We're in a bit of a problem because at the end of the day, most players, Wharton, Anderson, at their age, are going to want to play Champions League football, considering that Wharton has not played Champions League football. He's going to want to play Champions League football in his career, of course. Absolutely. Black Sheep. Juventus like Barcelona see us as a joke. They will try some sort of loan deal with no obligation for Xerxes. Absolutely. Tired of this club being taken advantage of. This is our fault. This is the way we've been run. This is Glazeronomics, mate. This is the way we've been run. And we're still getting played, guys, by Ineos. I mean, they're trying to play us with Rashford. They've already played us with Rashford, at the end of the day. We should have stopped at nothing, saying you want Rashford, you pay for Rashford. That's it. Simple as that. At the end of the day, we're our own worst enemy. We've not covered ourselves in glory in regards to transfers. And Man United, under Sir Alex, used to be so good at transfers and things like that. But over the recent years, we haven't been covering the last 15 years, we haven't been covering ourselves in glory in regards to that. Do you know what I mean? And the Rashford thing, Rashford is 40 million. They want to pay about 26 million. There you go. Now, I wouldn't mind, like I said yesterday, if Man United done some kind of deal with obviously Casado and Marcus Rashford is a swap deal. I wouldn't mind that. I think that would be a very shrewd, clever move from Manchester United. I think it would. I think Casado is a fabulous player, only 22 years old, centre midfielder, CDM. He can play there, and I think he'll be an absolutely brilliant signing for Man United. If we can try and do like a swap deal between Marcus Rashford and Casado, I will go for that. But Man United shouldn't be accepting anything less. No way. We should do things that are going to benefit us, not going to benefit Barcelona, because that will benefit Barcelona as well. In regards to Xerxes, look, Juventus are broke. That's well known. Juventus need money. This is why Juventus will probably sell Keenan Yildiz in the summer. Barcelona are just stingy, and that's what they are. Your Barcelona will be linked with a player for 150 million, but only want to give you 10 million for a 25 million player. This is the way Barcelona are. They're stingy, they're frauds, they're shameless. Shameless Barcelona. Absolutely. Raja, wait, is it true that Sekou Kone will be going to Lausanne Sport on loan? Probably, yes. I don't think he should be going to Lausanne. I think Lausanne are a second division in Switzerland. I don't think that's the level that he should be at. I think that Sekou Kone, if he's going to go on loan, which I think he should, right? And I think Chido Obi Martinez should as well. He should be going to the Championship in England. He should be going to a lower Premier League club, not the bloody second division in Lausanne, which is the equivalent of the National League in England. I'll be honest, no disrespect. At the end of the day, we just because Ineos own Lausanne, this is why they're going to do this, isn't it? This is why they're looking after their own interest here. I would much rather Sekou Kone go to Nice or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Lausanne in the second division in Switzerland, guys, come on, man. You know what I mean? It's shameless at the end of the day, but it is what it is. Ex-Sporting and Leeds, but Ralph needs price tag. Yeah, he's ex-Leeds, isn't it, mate? He's ex-Leeds. His last team was Leeds before he went to Barcelona. Marcus, morning, Sal, my guy. Also, with Ndidi, his father passed away last week, so condolences there. Pray for his headspace. Didn't know that, Marcus. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, I pray for Ndidi. It's one of the worst things in the world, of course. It's horrible when these things happen, of course. And it's why you got to look after each other. This is why you got to be good to each other. We're here for a good time, not a long time. And, and condolences, Godspeed. And, I hope that his dad's in a good place and stuff like that, inshallah, of course. Big up, Sanjay. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. That can change your mindset for life. Yeah, it can. It does. That's the way life is, of course. Big up, Samuel. Chelsea fan said on Sky Sports, 130 million, 150 million for Cole Palmer. Yeah, that's how much he's worth. But wouldn't you rather pay that money for Cole Palmer than bloody Lookman at Atlanta? Who's playing in the weaker league. It's proven as poor the Italian league is at the moment. I would rather buy Palmer. But anyway, my first choice, as I said, is either Saidel Marla or Keenan Yildiz. These are the players that I want. You know what I mean? They're the kind of players that I want at Man United. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Do you think that Baleba can develop and play right back and right wing? Bendico, Mantato. Yeah, he can play. He's already played under Ruben Amorim as a right wing back in the friendlies. If you know, he's a right wing back. He can play right winger. He's a right winger primarily. I'm looking forward to seeing Mantato. He's one of the players that Bendito Mantato is one of the players that I'm looking at, and I'm thinking, yeah, that guy's going to be a star. Obviously, development, he needs to be developed. He needs to be nurtured in the team. It's a little bit lightweight, if you ask me. But, you know, if you watch the Hong Kong against Man United game, I think it was a year ago, he was fantastic in that game. Looked very assured. I did like him, to be honest with you. Absolutely. I did. Absolutely. Absolutely. Raja, is it big? It is because he's about 7-8 year deal. Yeah, but still. Off topic, but what's your favorite Bowie song? It's Bowie and Queen, Under Pressure. That's it. I like that one. Bowie and Queen, Under Pressure. I think that was number one when I was born. Yes. Stankovic looks like Sesko's older brother. I think he's the son of the Stankovic who used to play for Lazio, if I'm not wrong. Absolutely. Kyle, what's going on? What's going on, Kyle? What are you thinking about? Guys, what are you on about? Big up Held. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Buried within the comments, of course. When we start talking to players in March, April, and summer, who will be the manager? Will we be in the Champions League? What direction is the club going in? They can't answer shit. That's the exact problem why we shouldn't have sacked Ruben Amorim. We should have waited until the end of the season. Or we should have got the manager in early. Already agreed. Not like in the club. We could have done an agreement. What Man United need to do, which Man United haven't been doing for many, many years, is be assertive in our decisions and get deals done quickly. You know what I mean? So basically, get the manager agreed, whether we got Carrick or no Carrick. We got Carrick as an interim, but we've already got that manager, whether it's Enrique, Nagelsmann, De Zerbi, whoever it is, that manager's coming in the summer. Now, I agree with Helch here. It's all up in the air. Players will ask, number one, Champions League. That's the most important thing. Are Man United in the Champions League? And that is going to be the biggest question. Everything else we can negotiate. But there is an element of uncertainty around Man United. And these are questions that are going to be asked. Who's going to be the manager? What signings are we going to get? What type of football are we going to play? Blah, blah, blah. And that's what's going to happen. Absolutely. And if you've got the choice between Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, are Man United going to be that attractive? And that's what we have to look at. Do you know what I mean? Are they going to be attractive to potential suitors? You know, you never know at the end of the day. Guys, absolutely. Big up, Helge. Sal, our owners always neglect January window. There is no long-term target in January, blah, blah. Now, yeah, it's been happening for years, mate. No value in the market. You know what I mean? Kyle, here we go. I think we will lose against Fulham. Carrick's Achilles heel has been low block teams. Man United's Achilles heel has been low block team, Mr. McMahon. Man United over the years have a... Guy, look, let me tell you something, Carl. Man United are defeating in 1 year, under a year, Man City twice, Arsenal twice, Chelsea, Newcastle, Palace away, Brighton. We're beating everyone. But when you look at Bournemouth, West Ham, Fulham, Spurs, you know, I count them as a smaller team. Those teams there, we can't beat. It's a low block. Man United have had a low block problem for a while. Look, guys, I urge you to look at the video from Emmanuel Petit. He says it as it is, guys. He speaks the absolute gospel. So Emmanuel Petit questions, is it the players or is it the manager? And he said, it's not the manager, it's the players. Because the players choose when they want to play. They choose when they want to play. It's not just about the low block, it's the mentality as well. We're playing Fulham at the weekend. Should win that one. And we get it as well, guys. We get it as well. We're like, we've beaten Man City, we've beaten Arsenal. Let's go. We're going to smash up Fulham. That's how we are. We have that. I know it's ignorant, but some of us, we have this mentality, don't we? You know, it's natural because it's Fulham. But don't be surprised if we're sitting here during a watch-along and we're like, this is not going well, man. I hope not, and I hope Man United smash up Fulham. I really do. I hope it happens, but I won't get my hopes up. Of course. Absolutely. Our negotiation cards are 0 to none. Broke. We don't have money. Don't know the manager, the playing style. Future, don't know if we are going to Champions League. World Cup makes set transfers also slow. Yep. We do have money though, Hells, just to let you know. But they won't say that. We need the 50+1 rule in the Premier League. It would never happen because it's going to be difficult. We used to have something similar, but at the moment, I don't think it's going to happen at the end of the day. But Man United, the Premier League need a 50+1. Absolutely. It's a great model for football. Absolutely. You know what I mean, guys? Absolutely. United have been top of the league since Xmas. Fulham are third. The match will be interesting. Yes, that's true. Hey, big up Coco. What's going on? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Let's not forget the likes of Rashford, Sancho, Onana, Bayinde, Malacia still to deal with. Exactly, Coco. We haven't got rid of them yet, have we? No, exactly that. We're all over the place, Coco. This is why I have no hopes. This is why Man United needed to utilize this window. They need to do some work this window. They needed to do some work now so that they are prepared for next season, for next window, the summer window. They needed to do some work now. It was very important that they did some work now, but they've done nothing. Zero. Zilch. You know? Indeed, he isn't one of those. The only deal I think, and Man United have done groundwork on, is Baleba. But Baleba's a risk. Baleba's not playing well. Baleba might be a one-season wonder, all we know. Because I seem to remember when Evan Ferguson was out, and Evan Ferguson was touted as the next Wayne Rooney. What happened to Evan Ferguson? You know, and I don't know. We're all over the place, man. We definitely are. Absolutely. Metal, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Sal. Do you think Sesko will get chances under Carrick, or will he prefer a false number 9? At the moment, I don't think Michael Carrick is going to change too much. It's not that he won't do in the future if he is a permanent manager. But at the moment, he's an interim manager. So the most important thing for Michael Carrick is getting results. How does he get results? Keep playing a team that keep winning matches. So he will pick the team based on if we're winning matches. And that's all that's going to happen. So the team will be same, apart from obviously Dorgu. It will be Cunha back in that team. I don't think Sesko will play for the time being. As much as I love Sesko, and I think it's harsh on him, I think that he will be he'll be a substitute. I think so. But we need him. We need him as well for the squad. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Absolutely. Ephraim, big up yourself. Big up, like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. Big up Gregory. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything is blessed with you, of course. Brighton, Burnley, Wolves, Leeds, West Ham, Everton. Those are the teams, Max. Exactly. All low blocks. Exactly. And you play more low blocks than you do teams that attack you. There's only a handful of teams that attack you at the end of the day. Mark. We will beat Fulham. Carrick never had a coach the level of Steve Holland. Let's not forget he was Gareth Southgate's coach, mate. So let's not go there. We had a world-class team at England, and he didn't do fuck all. Cunha and Mainu were part. It's nothing to do with Steve Holland and stuff like that. Steve Holland couldn't win England jack shit. You know, a world-class England team played a weak Italian team in the final. Couldn't overcome a weak old Italian team. You know. I wouldn't overgas him, mate. If we go, and you know he's been sacked numerous times. If we go for cheap, do you think that we should make an offer for Indeed? Good player, but we don't need that type of player. We need a midfielder, mate. More than anything, of course. Gregory, Baleba is the only one of the big three midfield targets I do not want. Anderson and Wharton, yes. Baleba, no. I understand that, Gregory. I understand that because you have to base things on a mature level, like you're doing. You have to look at the performances of Baleba over the last season. We're not children here. You know what I mean? I know that fans have their favorite players. I know there's a player FC going on at Man United as well. So I would say that from this day forth until the end of the season, I have to see a different Baleba. I have to see a Baleba that's performing very well. And you think, that's the Baleba that was last season. Because at the moment, you can easily say that Baleba's a one-hit wonder. You can easily say that. What's evident that suggests not? Tell me. Couple of man and match displays at the AFCON? You know? What? At the end of the day, what has to happen is that he has to help it himself. I know that his head has been turned. I know that. But that shows a bad mentality then, doesn't it? So we have to weigh up everything because Man United are in a very crucial period in our history. The midfield position is so important. The players that Man United are guaranteed at Man United, Anderson, Wharton, as you said there, you're guaranteed performances. You're guaranteed slot straight into that team, solidify it. That's what you're doing. Players I look at and I think, who would have Alex Ferguson signed? Who would have Alex Ferguson signed? Adam Wharton, Anderson. 100%. They would already be Man United players. Harry Kane would have been a Man United player a long time ago. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, a long time ago. Absolutely. Ephraim, Sal, which player you think can unlock low blocks? It depends on how you play. When you play against the low block, you have to spread and then close in. Spread and close in. So close in, like for example, let me give you an example. Man United used to play the low block for years under Alex Ferguson. So what Man United would do, they would go through the middle with Roy Keane and Paul Scholes. So they would be attacking in the middle, relentless in the middle. So the defenders of the opposition team, they squeeze in because we're going through the middle. And then you'll have Ryan Giggs and David Beckham on the wing, completely unmarked. You know what I mean? And then that's when you'll have David Beckham on the wing, Gary Neville doing the overlap. You'll have Ryan Giggs on the wing, Dennis Irwin, Patrice Evra on the overlap. That's what happens. But the problem is Man United don't know how to squeeze the game, right? And they don't know how to push forward from the middle because our midfield is the problem. We don't have a midfield. It's not good enough. We're too slow. Side to side, forward back. We're not penetrating forcefully, powerfully into the box like Scholes did or Keno did. One of those people. So that's what Man United need to do. It's not necessarily about the players. In regards to the way we play. It's not necessarily about the way we play. It's about the players taking initiative and spreading the game. In, squeeze, wing. Squeeze, wing. Wingers. And remember, I've been watching Man United for a very long time, right? Man United squeeze. They have overlapping runners everywhere. Players have to look everywhere. We don't even have overlapping runners. That lot's not overlapping. We need overlapping runs on the wings. We need pressing from the middle, and that's what we do. Press. And obviously, relentless pressure. More times than not, opens the door. Gregory, Angelo Stiller would be a brilliant addition to our midfield. I agree. Very good player, underrated, but a very good player. Sal, who's your number one target to replace Bruno? I honestly don't think anyone else matches a bit availability. Keenan Yildiz, mate. That's the one we need. Keenan Yildiz or Mora from Porto. Definitely. Keenan Yildiz for me. Rajat, when last met Fulham, it took that Ericsson ball to Garnacho's path to make it 2-1. No, we last played Fulham when we drew 1-1 at Craven Cottage, mate. We lost to Fulham last season as well in the FA Cup. If people remember, we lost to Fulham in the FA Cup on penalties. If we remember, Fulham are going to be a difficult game, guys. Let's not forget, a couple of years ago, we lost to Fulham in the 97th minute. It was 1-1, and what's that guy's name? Hefty dude. Adama Traore, right? He got the winner for Fulham in the 97th minute. You remember he had that beef with Licha Martinez and stuff like that. And Fulham are one of those teams where you have to put them to bed early. At the end of the day. We will miss Bruno once he leaves for Man United. We'll miss Bruno just like we miss Cantona, just like we miss Cristiano Ronaldo, Paul Scholes. Man United move on. Unfortunately, there's not many players like Bruno Fernandes in regards to his availability, his efforts, his desire, right? These days, footballers are different. I've said it for a while now that football's regressed. Footballers have regressed, and they're regressing significantly, and it's going to be hard to replace him, but Man United move on, and Man United will find somebody. As I said, Mora of Porto, Yildiz of Juventus are going to be fabulous players. Man United need to look at those players and scout those players effectively. Said Al-Mala is another one that, And another thing about the midfield, we have got obviously Said Al-Mala, but Boadi as well. Boadi's another player, guys, that can play in that central midfield and be a lot cheaper and stuff like that, of course, guys. Absolutely. Let me just message this. 1 second, guys. There we go. Yeah, because there are cheaper options out there, guys. Raja, will Stiller and Bruno playing as a midfield three with another DM be fluid? Yeah, because one thing about the midfielders these days, you don't get primarily exclusively a number 8 or number 6 these days. Most players can play both roles. Like I would class Stiller as a number 8. I would class Anderson as a number 8, like this, but can play as a number 6. I think football's evolved in regards to that central midfield position. I don't think you've got the Roy Kings and the David Batties these days. Do you know what I mean? I don't think you have the Patrick Vieiras these days and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And Roy Kings. I think it's more now generally players in that midfield can play 2 roles. You know what I mean? 10 likes to 50. Guys, don't forget to smash a like. Guys, please. Thank you so much. Let's get to 50, guys. Come on. Large upsell, big up Mandem. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well every time, my guy. The only thing giving me hope is that we are 4th in the league since last season for scoring goals and low blocks. Yeah. We've been 3rd for scoring goals all season. We've been 3rd for assisting goals all season. We're actually 2nd for a while scoring goals, actually, as well, under Ruben Amorim. Almala looks like a great youngster that can be developed. Yeah, very good player. Going to be a German international very soon. Don't worry about that, guys. Been speaking about him for a long time. Bawardi, let me tell you, Mora, Bawardi, 2 players there. Keenan Yildiz, a player there. There's other players as well I'm going to mention to you, like who play for AC Milan, who are coming out, Liberali and players like that. 9 more likes, people. Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget to smash a like. Come on, you absolutely there. Thank you, Max. 110 people here. Only guys, come on. Let's get the likes up. Thank you so much, you absolute legends. Let's get the likes up. Let's get. It helps with the algorithms and stuff like that. Rhythm is the dancing. Absolutely. This helps with the algorithms. Let's do this, guys. Let's get the likes up. Absolutely. Yeah, look, you know, there are cheaper options out there. There are players out there that can come to Man United that will be cheaper than the likes of Anderson and Wharton. But if we're looking at guarantees, close to guarantees for players to perform, you're looking at Anderson, you're looking at Wharton. That's what you're looking at. Guaranteed to perform right now. Gun to head, guys, gun to head. If you had a couple of choices, who's going to be the Man United 2 in the midfield? You've got 2 players there. 2 players you could sign right now, right? Gun to head, who are gonna perform for Man United. Who's it going to be? You're going to say Wharton and Anderson straight away. 100%. Definitely. And then obviously you've got the Belabers, the Stillers, the Kones, the Yavigueras, the Yorigizes and stuff like that. Of course, you've got those players as well. And all the array of players that I've mentioned before, of course. So it's going to be a very big summer. It's going to be crucial for Ineos. Ineos on a thin path, guys. They're being protested against on Sunday. And we should not forget this, guys. The protests are coming on Sunday. This is what's most important. You know what I mean? This protest is massive because it's aimed for the first time. It's aimed at Ineos. And I said it before that we should have aimed at Ineos a long time ago. But it's aimed at Ineos now. You know, and better late than never. And hopefully, you know, it will affect them. Jim Ratcliffe did say that if he gets the same amount of pressure as the Glazers, he will leave. Let's see if he's a man of his word. We already know he's a liar. We already know he's a liar, isn't it? Ephraim, Sal, who is the name which you told us last summer from a Brugge, the midfield? Did he move? I'm not which side. There's a few from Brugge. I mentioned one today, mate. I mentioned one today. I mentioned a Brugge player today to you. Did he move? I don't know which one you mean. I've mentioned about 6 players from Brugge. You have to be more specific, mate. Since I've been here, I've mentioned about 6, 7 players from Brugge. A lot of them have left, to be honest with you, guys. A lot of them have left, but not all of them have left, of course, guys. But the one that I spoke about today was Alexander Stankovic, 20-year-old. He's the one I spoke about today. João Gomez looks good, but he's a striker. João Gomez is more of a midfielder, Max. More of an attacking midfielder. We don't really need that position, absolutely. Arden Jasuri, don't know. He was good. Yeah, he was good. He was Brugge. He was one of them, yeah. But it depends which position. There's a couple of defenders there as well. Guys, there's a couple of defenders game. Absolutely. So, Brugge, look, can I be honest about Brugge, about Club Brugge? They're producing some good players. They are producing some good players. You have to give it to them, guys, absolutely. You know, you have to give it to them. You have to give it to them. Absolutely. The AC Milan fan linked us to who? There's no one I haven't linked to, which isn't the truth, Ephraim. What AC Milan fan? Manchester United linked to? The AC Milan fan. What fan, mate? I don't know what you mean, mate. I don't know what you mean. There's not many players that linked to AC Milan, to be honest with you, from AC Milan at the moment. I don't think there's only one. Christian Pulisic is the only one I can think about that Man United have been linked with AC Milan at the moment. It's Christian Pulisic. He's about the only one, if I'm being honest. And there's not many players that have been linked from Man United. Only ones that are linked to Man United if you're going into the youth team of AC Milan, which is probably Scotty Liberali, who doesn't play for them anymore. Kamada, who doesn't play for them anymore. He was another one, very good young player, which we should be scouting, by the way. There's a couple of there. That I would look at. A couple of the AC Milan youth players have already left and gone to big clubs as well. This is what the you know, since I've known Komoto is another one who plays in their youth team. So I've got, yeah. But there's no one potent, no one really solid in regards to players that are coming from AC Milan. I don't know which one we're talking about, to be honest with you, at the end of the day, guys. But yeah, Arden Joshua, I spoke about him a year ago, Ephraim. Over a year ago, guys, absolutely. So I ain't heard nothing from him recently. But yeah, he's in regards to Man United, but I spoke about him ages ago. Absolutely. Sal, if Dorgu keeps playing higher up the pitch, we're going to need a left back next season. We can't just rely on Shaw. Agreed, mate. We do need another left back. Agreed, but Mazraoui can play there. Can't he? He played there for Morocco in the AFCON. United Quaground, what's going on? Hi, Sal. As much as we need a CDCM to CM the starting 11, United need to have a good options off the bench. Exactly. Arsenal brought on 4 quality players. Players like Baleba also be a good squad option in 11. Not really. Not at the moment. If he's not good, he's not good, mate. Simple as that. If he's not performing, he doesn't deserve to play for Man United. It's simple as that. It doesn't matter if he's on the bench or not on the bench. He's going to be 65 million, 75 million. Would you, if it was your money right now, if you had the choice between Anderson and Baleba right now, Man United don't have the money, apparently. This is what they're talking about. So they're going to get 2 midfielders in there. I'd rather spend the money on Angelo Stiller, Keith Schmidt, Anderson, Wharton, someone like that who's going to be. I'd rather have Wharton on the bench than Baleba. You know what I mean? I'd rather have Stiller on the bench than Baleba right now as we speak. All right? Let's not look at things from a sinister point of view. Let's look at things objectively and maturely here. He's had a stinker of a season. He's 65 to 75 million. Just because he's your favorite player and you want him and you want to squeeze him in the team, Man United can't make any mistakes here. I like him and I liked him last season. And, but it's up to him if he wants to improve his performances and play for Manchester United. United, man them. Some Arsenal fans are so deluded. Saw a guy next say he'd pay a ticket to sit with the Fulham fans and cheer them on to beat us. The Arsenal fans' nonsense is getting out of hand. Guys, what I've been saying for many, many months and years, in fact, like any so-called Man United fans that are gassing Arsenal are not Man United fans because they don't know about the rivalry, especially if you're from London and you're gassing Arsenal, right? They don't know about Man United and Arsenal rivalry. Arsenal fans are the most unbearable fans in Europe. I go around the world and I've traveled the world, not like these guys who just sit on content creation, sit in one chair and watch a TV screen. No, I've been around the world, guys. I've been to Africa, to Far East, to Middle East. I live in the Middle East and to America, everywhere. Everyone knows about Arsenal fans. Every single person knows about Arsenal fans. You know? They are notorious. They are known for being absolute prats. The fan base. Honestly, I'll be honest, guys. Some, not all of them, but, Stankovic, defensive midfielder from Club Brugge, 6'1", 20 years. Yes, spoke about him earlier, Burke. Already spoken about him, mate. Welcome to the stream, Gregory. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, CDM, 6'1", 20 years old. Valuation is obviously dependent on Man United making a bid, of course, because you know the Man United tax, of course, which will obviously put the money up, of course, guys. But Stankovic, Club Brugge, 20 years old, yes. We're speaking about him earlier today, guys. 50 likes, big up everyone. Thank you so much. Absolute legends. They haven't gone away, Roy. They're there. We've been speaking about him all show, Roy. Where have you been, Roy? We've been speaking about him all show. They haven't gone away. They're still on Man United's wish list, but not this window. Man United and Wharton will not happen this window. I already said it months ago, guys, that Adam Wharton already gave a gentleman's agreement with Crystal Palace that he's going to stay to the summer. He's going to leave, but he's going to stay to summer. Anderson, similar. Let's not forget Nottingham Forest are battling relegation, and Nottingham Forest are in Europe. Of course. Sal, that's facts. Let's just say it the way it is. Baleba has been poor this season, and it is so easy to carry the inconsistencies into our club. Let's just get Anderson and Wharton deals done. Absolutely. Look, guys, we got to stay away. All due respect to people who like Baleba. I like Baleba. But we got to be mature here. This is not toys we're talking about. This is not championship manager or football manager, whatever it is. This is professional football. Man United, when Alex Ferguson was at Man United, we didn't just sign players. We signed mentality monsters. Whether Baleba's form has dropped because of the Man United thing, it says more about his mentality than what it does about, his talent. Anderson's had links. Wharton's had links. They're still performing. Stiller's had links. They're still performing. Guerra's had links. Kone's had links. They're still performing. At the end of the day, will we sign out Baleba? Maybe, yeah. Maybe we will sign Baleba. Is he better than Wharton and Anderson or Stiller? No. Right now, as we speak, he's not better. And Man United need beasts in that midfield. Is Baleba right now better than Mainu? No. Would Baleba get in the England squad? No. And we have to look at that, guys. You know what I mean? And we have to look at where Man United want to go. Do Man United want to do this? Like, if we signed 3 midfielders and one of them was Baleba, that's fine. But if Man United are going to sign 1 or 2 midfielders, guys, it's the engine of the team is the midfield. It's the engine of the team. We have to pick the right one. You know what I mean? Sorry, just came in. No problem, Roy. Sal, I can't believe how rattled Arsenal fans are crying. They're still crying to this day. I haven't even checked it out. To troll us over Champions League, they're generally unbearable. I've seen 2 Champions League. They've not even seen 1, so they could be quiet. I've witnessed my team in the flesh winning the Champions League. They can never say that at the moment. Absolutely. Roy, what do you think of the hate Amram is getting just because of Man United 2 wins under Carrick? Low IQ. That's all I can say. Low IQ football ball knowledge. That's it. And let me just emphasize something, right? Just because you've got a big platform doesn't mean you have better knowledge than anyone else. People look at things in a very simplistic way. They don't look at ins and outs and context. They don't look at that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. This is why without YouTube, there'd be nobodies. At the end of the day, guys, I just think that, I think it's going over the top, and I think people are a little bit obsessed with Ruben Amram. They need to move on. Just support Carrick now. Just leave him alone. You know what I mean? It's not Man United like, in my opinion. Arsenal fans' IQ really low. One of them said he celebrated the win like we won a Champions League. Let me say that. Like one chance, some guy even replied asking, "What does Arsenal know about winning the Champions League?" Exactly. I saw that. I did see that. Yeah, exactly that. What do you know about winning the Champions League? Exactly. We have to get the best out of Wharton or Anderson like Arsenal did with Rice. Exactly. Otherwise, we're going to regret it. Trust me. You got to look at why no one else is after Baleba. Why? There's 2 things. No one wants him, or he's already agreed to go to Man United. Spot on, Sal. We do not need any risk by signing. We don't need risks, guys. Man United are far away from risks. Big up my guy. Big up Davia. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Just subscribe. Good to see you. Welcome to the family. I hope you're doing well. Welcome. You're going to enjoy it here. It's a great stream. It's a great community. Thank you so much. Passionate community. Let you be warned. It is a passionate community, but we love it here. And welcome, Davia. Really appreciate you, my friend. Good to see you. Absolute legends, of course. Gregory, the only fans in England worse than Arsenal fans are Leeds fans. Yeah, but they're generally, we have to ignore them because they're so shit. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we should have beat him under Ruben Amram anyway, guys. Absolutely. Please don't tell me Arsenal fans were acting big during their banter era of 6 years of no Champions League football. Exactly that. Let me just sit Arsenal fans down, right? In our worst period in our history, we've won more trophies than Arsenal and a European trophy. In our worst period in our history. They have got less European trophies than Spurs. Less European pedigree than Spurs. Mandem, so let's just call it as these man fancy Amram. I think they're jealous of him. That's what I think. And I also go about how they look. We all moved on from Amram and focus on upcoming games with Carrick. Yet they are still got chatting about. I know, mate. I haven't even mentioned him once on Twitter. I moved on. I'm a Man United fan. I'm not a manager fan. I'm a Man United fan. This is what they don't understand. They're weird. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they're making streams about Ruben Amram, crying out loud. Still to this day, I ain't got the time. What's up, Sal? So what is it? Some of my Arsenal fans here in Cali always want to celebrate the league when they tap in January, not acknowledging the bottles. Do you know what I say, Mr. Renee? So my guy, what I say is, let's wait and see. Let's watch this. The elephant on the tree and all that. You know that? You remember the elephant on the tree? Let's see what happens, guys. Guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me. You absolute diamonds, you absolute legends. Thank you, everyone. Sorry I can't read out all the comments. I'm trying my best. Got a sore throat as well. But I'm trying my best. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate you. Have a fabulous Sunday. Sunday? Sunday, we're going to have a fabulous Sunday when we beat Fulham. But on Friday, have a fabulous Friday, guys. Enjoy it. I may see you later on. Keep your notifications on. I'm on Judge Mo's channel later on. So join me for that. Get your questions in. Get your movement in on Judge Mo. Subscribe to the legend. Guys, thank you so much. I'll see you later on. And don't forget to smash a like on the way out if you haven't already. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. I'll see you later. Peace.